Let's talk about having a big serve and what are the steps that you must go through to be able to improve upon it. Everybody wants a big serve, and yes, the big serve is necessary to have because it allows you to win a lot of free points. What I like to go through is I'm going to do it with you guys unrehearsed so that you can actually see my process, okay? Historically, I've been able to serve pretty big, all right? But just like everybody else, I have to work on it, okay? The first thing is I'm very flexible. When I serve, I really spend an extra amount of time making sure that nothing gets in the way, that my limbs are fully flexible and that I get the widest amplitude in my shot, okay? The other thing is you have to have a good rhythm, something that you're able to reproduce all the time. So to be able to do that, I go through a motion that is fairly loose and really relaxing for me. So you will see me go through this motion. I do a figure eight, okay? This way, all right? And what I like about this is it actually gets my hips engaged. It allows me to go through my rotation. You notice my foot pivots, okay? My hips have turned, my body's facing forward, but more importantly, my torso has not moved, okay? I see a lot of recreational players, there's a lot going on with the torso. And as soon as the torso really tilts, you start to lose a lot of power. If the timing is not right, your hips turn too soon or don't turn at all, or your torso turns too soon or tilts, you're also going to really lose valuable power, okay? So it's important to get that motion under control, okay? So this exact exercise is the one that has been able to get me to serve this big for this long, okay? So that's advice number 2. Advice number 3 is to work on your wrist pronation. Okay, if you notice, a lot of professional players that serve really big have a very loose wrist. Okay, they're able to come from the top and actually have that wrist snap, okay, that's timed perfectly to be able to crush that ball downward. Okay, if you look at Roger Federer when he serves, he too brings his racket back this way, and then you have a little bit of a wrist snap, okay, that basically crushes the ball on the way down. And in order to do that, you have to have that back and forth motion where the racket goes back and then really whips the ball, okay? That's a perfect wrist snap, okay? So you have the flexibility in your body, you have the timing of it all, and then you have the wrist snap, okay? And then you want to make sure that the energy rises from the bottom all the way to the top. And if you do that, you're going to have a great serve. Now, to be able to also prevent injuries, you have to go through a very mild, gradual process. I don't step up to the plate and serve 130 miles per hour. It's a matter of fact, sometimes I don't even serve 130 miles per hour. Sometimes, on any given day, I may only go up to 110. And that's okay, because to me, it's more the precision that's important, okay? So what I will do is, I basically go through my abbreviated motion first, this way, okay, to be able to get my serve under control, okay? And I do a standard serve, so you don't see my full motion yet, okay? I just get my body to warm up and my accuracy to be under control. That makes me feel very good about myself because I don't have to worry about the clearance over the net. I don't have to worry about anything really, but getting my body to move properly and getting my ball to go where I want it to go. So accuracy in my motion and accuracy with my delivery is what I'm looking for. And then I'm going to go through an exercise that I call gears. And the reason why I call it gears is because I'm going to be shifting gears as my serve starts to really gain in velocity. Okay, so maybe at the beginning I'm going 10 miles per hour. Okay, nice and easy. So that would be my neutral gear. Okay, and obviously I'm very comfortable in my neutral gear. So you'll see me go to my gear number 1. Okay, where I start to add a little bit of legs, okay, and I'm still able to generate a good amount of power. What you notice is my wrist pronation starts to take place up here, okay, so that would be gear number 1, okay. Then I would go to gear number 2, and what you notice is I really work on the precision of my motion, because a good serve is a serve that you can repeat over and over and over, where you fully control your motion. I'm at gear number 2. I'm going to go to gear number 3. okay? And here I'm going to start to really draw from different parts of my body. Maybe it's the legs, maybe it's the arm acceleration, maybe it's the core, maybe it's a combination of all three. But the key is I start to pay attention to all the parts that I can draw from. Gear number 3. Gear number 3 is still under control, so I'm going to go to gear number 4, okay? What I like about my serve is I have a high clearance, so I never really have to worry about the net. The net to me is the obstacle that you want to really forget about. Don't make it relevant. Allow yourself to have a high clearance. In order to do that, you want to make sure that your left hand stays up as long as possible because your left hand is for clearance, okay? So what you'll notice is I have a very, very long left hand hang time, okay? Very long hang time to be able to stay tall as long as I can. And what that translates into is I rarely miss in the net on my serve. Okay? So I was at gear number 3. I'm going to go to gear number 4. Okay? And the key to this exercise is you go up a gear. If you start to make a lot of mistakes at that gear, you go down a gear. And then you start to work on all the technicalities that would help you to control the serve at the upper gear. So now I'm at gear number 4. Okay, and at gear number 4, I've noticed that I wasn't really jumping that high, and I certainly was not accelerating as hard as I could with my arms. Okay, so I'm going to start to add that. So gear number 4. Okay, so I'm starting to really feel that velocity. All right, very good. Excellent. Okay, gear number 4 is still pretty good. So I'm going to go to gear number 5. I'm going to start to really engage the core, get the legs to jump in a little more, maybe more racket acceleration, and definitely a more aggressive wrist snap. So let's do that. Okay, there I lost my balance, so I have to go back down a gear, regain my composure, and make sure that I don't add too much, and then I will go back to gear 5. There you go. Now I go back to gear 5. There it is. Okay, and then basically the list goes on until you get to a point where maybe it's gear 6, maybe it's gear 7. In any case, you really go for the bigger serve you've got, but you want to make sure that you retain the accuracy because a big serve without precision is not going to be good enough. So let me try for a last one. Perfect. Okay, so work on gears and make your serve as big as it can be.